Hello everyone and welcome to the evidence reveal video for the haunting at the Ryde Hotel up north in Walnut Grove, California. This was an investigation that we went to about 2 weeks ago. We did not stay at the Ryde Hotel. We actually stayed in Stockton, but we went up north to investigate the Ryde Hotel. And this is the evidence that we were able to capture from there. Now, while we were able to capture many EVPs at the Ryde Hotel, only a few of them were actual Class A and Class B EVPs. So I'm going to review the top 3 EVPs of the evening. Most of the activity of the night actually occurred in the speakeasy of the Ryde Hotel. If you want to hear more about the experiences that we had, I will be doing a podcast where I will be reviewing and talking about this event and the last 2 investigation events that we've had since October. Alright, so before we get started, just letting you guys know you will hear some background noise. It is Thanksgiving and everyone is cleaning up and working on Thanksgiving dinner. So if you hear background noises, just deal with it. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and start with the first EVP. Now this EVP was recorded in the speakeasy. In fact, all 3 EVPs that I'm going to present and review today were taken from the speakeasy at the Ryde Hotel. Now, for those that don't know, the Ryde Hotel was built, I believe, back in the Prohibition era or just before the Prohibition era. Hence why they had a speakeasy. The speakeasy was actually in the lower basement level. It's a gigantic room, and I guess they had a bar in there and a large space for dancing and whatnot and gambling. But anyway, so this particular section of the Ryde Hotel was the most active place of the evening, and while we were there, we had within our group, we had one of our friends who has some psychic abilities was able to pick up on these 2 little girls that apparently like to hang out at the speakeasy. So we were trying to interact with them and asking different questions. Now, we actually captured multiple EVPs interacting with these little girls. One was assumed to go by the name of Isabella or Bella, and the other was named Emilia, or she wasn't named Emilia. We really couldn't get a grip on exactly what the second girl's name was, but all in all, it was an interesting evening. We had a lot of interaction. And the EVPs that I'm going to play for you, at least 2 of them are these girls, or at least one of the girls responding to us. So the first one comes from a question being asked by one of the women in our group. Her name is Liz Johnson. She asks if only one of the girls were sick or if both of them were sick, because we got the idea through her that they both died, or at least one of them died of some kind of sickness or disease. We were trying to probe and find out what the reason was for the death. So in that moment, she asks a question along the lines of, was it one of you or both of you? And after that happens, you'll hear sort of a silent pause, and then she'll start talking again. But in that silent pause, you'll hear a girl respond directly to her question. And the response is definitely intelligent, and we were taken aback by the response once we heard it during the review. So I'm going to play that for you now. I'm not going to tell you what's being spoken, but I'm going to play it for you. I'll play the specific sound clip where you hear the actual EVP, and then I'll tell you what I think or what I believe is being spoken. So let's cue up that first clip now.
Was that both of you or just one of you? One for yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play that clip for you one more time. I know it's a lower sound quality, but when I play the EVP clip, I will be amplifying the sound so that you can hear the words that are being spoken more clearly. So here's that clip one more time.
Was that both of you or just one of you? One for yes.
Okay, there was a clip again, and you can hear the voice of a little girl responding directly to Liz. I believe it is an intelligent response, and before I tell you what I believe is being spoken, I'm going to play the isolated clip just on its own, and I'm going to amplify the sound so that you can hear the clip clearer. So here is the isolated clip on its own. Okay, so there you have it. What is coming through is actually 3 words. If you listen carefully, it sounds like the girl is saying both of us. Now, again, the question that Liz asks if it was one or both of them, and the little girl appears to reply both of us. So I know that the audio clip isn't that great. I would actually classify this EVP as a Class B. Once I heard the clip during the first review, I was immediately able to tell what was being spoken. Now I know that for some people it is sometimes difficult for them to discern what is actually being spoken in an EVP. If you hear something different, just leave a comment in the comments section below and let me know what you think is being spoken. But to me, it definitely sounds like an intelligent response saying both of us. So I'm going to replay that clip for you a few more times so that you can hear it again. And maybe you can just comment and let me know what you hear. So here's that clip a few more times. So there you have it. It's a Class B EVP. Believe that it's saying both of us. Again, if you think it's saying something different, then leave a comment down in the comment section below and let me know what you think it's saying. We're going to move on to the next clip. This was also captured in the speakeasy at the Ryde Hotel. This one is actually a dual EVP clip. Now, what I mean by that is that in the recording segment, there were 2 separate EVPs caught. One will be of a girl responding, very simple response, but it is an intelligent response, and it's replying to one question. And then you have a second EVP that comes after I'm talking, and it's a male voice, and it has to be one of the creepiest EVPs that I've caught in the last 2.5 years that I've been doing this. So here's that clip in its entirety, and just keep an ear out for the female EVP, which comes after the female investigator talks, and then the male EVP that comes after I stop talking. So listen close, and here is that clip.
You guys are a team anyway, aren't you?
Are you uncomfortable because I'm in here? I'm the only male in this room.
You guys are a team anyway, aren't you?
Are you uncomfortable because I'm in here? I'm the only male in this room. Okay, so on that clip I played it twice for you so that you can get 2 chances to hear what is being spoken. Again, both of these clips are borderline Class C, Class B. Now, I normally don't play Class C EVPs because they're not very clear, but I thought that it would be important to play both of them since they were captured in the same segment. So what you'll hear is, believe it's Liz, say something along the lines of, you were a team, weren't you? And there's a female response that comes through, sounds like a little girl. And then I say something like, are you uncomfortable because I'm the only male here? And then you hear a male respond to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first play the isolated clip of the girl responding, and then I'll review that one. And then once I'm done, I will play what the male response is saying and review that one. So let's start off with the girl response. So here is that isolated clip for you now. Okay, so what you hear in that clip is a girl responding, and to me, it sounds like she's directly responding to Liz's question about them being, or statement about them being a team. And what it sounds like is the girl saying, we were. So I'm going to go ahead and play that clip for you a few more times so you can hear it again. And if you hear something different than what I'm hearing, then go ahead and leave that in the comments section. So here's that clip repeated one more time. Okay guys, I found a quieter spot for me to conduct this review. Again, I apologize for all of the noise. It is Thanksgiving and everyone is cleaning and cooking dinner and whatnot. So let's continue with the evidence review. Now, the second part of that audio clip has a second EVP that comes through after I stop speaking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that isolated clip and I'll amplify the sound so that you can hear it clearer. But this EVP again is one of the creepiest EVPs I've ever heard as far as our captures are concerned. So listen closely. It is a full sentence that's being spoken, and it is a male voice that comes through. So here is that clip.
I'm the only male in this room.
Okay, so what you hear is me say, because I'm the only male in here, and shortly thereafter you hear a very deep male voice. It sounds very kind of raspy, and it says a full sentence. Now again, I'm going to isolate just the EVP clip so that you can hear what's being spoken. And again, it's a full sentence and it's very creepy. So here's that clip again. Okay, so that was the EVP clip. Now again, if you listen close, you'll hear it speak a full sentence. What I believe is being spoken are the words, "You're the last one here," or "You're the lost one here." It's a very odd EVP. Again, the only thing that I've done to the clip is amplify the sound so you can hear it clear. I haven't added any effects to it or anything like that. So the EVP clip itself is somewhat of an intelligent response, and I've never heard an EVP come through with that kind of tone. So when I heard it the first time, it really kind of left me puzzled. I'm not sure if it was definitely a direct reply to what I was saying about me being the only male in there. If it was saying you're the last one here, then that makes sense. As far as it saying you're the lost one here, I'm not sure what that would apply to, if it was talking to me or maybe talking to someone else or another spirit. I'm unsure, but it is definitely a really good EVP. Definitely a Class B EVP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replay it for you again 3 more times. And again, just as I said before, if you hear something different, go ahead and leave a comment in the comments section and let me know what you think. So here's that clip one more time. Okay, so that is that EVP. Now we're going to move on to the very last EVP that we have on file for you guys. And this one, again, comes from the Speakeasy. And this one in particular is probably the most direct and intelligent response that we've had in a long time. So this one is responding to our investigator Liz Johnson, and at this point in time she was picking up on some spirits that perhaps may have been playing poker. And what happens is she basically calls out their direction, or in other words, she states where she believes that they are, and immediately you hear a male directly respond to her, and it's a full-on sentence, and it's one of the best EVPs we've captured. So I'm going to play the full clip for you now, and just listen closely. As soon as she calls out the direction, you'll hear the male voice respond immediately. Here's that clip.
I feel something right here. It's like going right. I feel something right here. It's like going right.
Okay, so there is that clip. I played it for you twice. What you'll hear is a whispered voice that comes through after the investigator stops talking. And it's a very interesting clip. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to isolate just the EVP itself, and you can discern what is being spoken there. So here's the isolated clip.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay, so there you have it. Now, what I believe is being spoken is, well, to put it into context, the investigator says she feels something to her right, or she feels the spirits to her right. And as soon as she says right, you hear a spirit respond directly, left. And then it says, what were you thinking? So the spirit itself is correcting her, saying that they're not on her right, they're actually on her left. And almost mockingly saying, what were you thinking? As if, she was completely way off as far as where they were. Now, it's a very sort of sarcastic reply to the investigator. I'm not sure I've ever heard an EVP come through that was that animated in the way it responded. But what I will say is that it definitely does correct the investigator, and it sounds again like it's saying, left, what were you thinking? So I'm going to play that clip for you a few more times so you can hear it again. Here it is.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay, so there you have it. Those are the EVPs, or at least the best EVPs that we ended up capturing at the Ryde Hotel in Walnut Grove, California. Overall, it was a very, very active evening. I kind of started out a little slow on the second floor, which is where we started, and it definitely ended on a strong point within the speakeasy, which is where we had the majority of our activity. Again, if you want to hear more about what exactly happened that evening on top of the EVPs that I've just presented for you, you can listen to the podcast that I will be discussing more of the paranormal activity that occurred that night. I definitely want to thank all of you for your continued support and letting me give you insight into all things paranormal. And just as always, happy hauntings.